Look at your feed. It's everywhere. The same story, different face. A woman sobbing in her car, overwhelmed by a life she built herself. Men, this isn't random. This is a pattern. A predictable collapse that starts the moment she confuses stability for oppression and freedom for entitlement. Let's break down what you're really seeing. It begins with a fantasy. She leaves a stable situation, not an abusive one, a stable one. She leaves a good man, a reliable father, a provider, a partner who handled the real-world problems because she felt bored. She traded a foundation for a feeling. She chose the wrong men to build a life with. She was attracted to the exciting guy, the fun guy, the man with no plan and no discipline. She prioritized passion over character, and then seemed shocked when the man with no character failed to provide stability. She bought the lie. The "you deserve it" culture told her that happiness was a new purse or a vacation, not a paid-off debt or a peaceful home. She chased the Instagram life, and now she's trapped in the real-world consequences. And most importantly, she dismantled the structure. She framed the rules, the discipline, the routine you provided as control. She called the scaffolding of a functional family oppressive and tore it down, calling it liberation. Then reality arrives, and it hits in the most mundane, brutal ways. This is the 2 a.m. crisis. Her child is sick, and she is completely alone. There is no one to share the watch with. The terror and exhaustion are hers alone to bear. This is the financial death by 1,000 cuts. She spends $50 on dinner delivery while complaining that she can't afford daycare. She maintains a subscription lifestyle with a single income budget. The math was never her strong suit. This is the invisible labor that is now 100% hers. The mental load, you once shared the dentist appointments, the car maintenance, the hard conversations with the landlord, is now her sole burden. Her mind is a browser with 100 tabs open, and she doesn't know how to close one. This is a world that doesn't take her seriously. The mechanic overcharges her. The landlord ignores her. She chose to enter this man's world alone, and now she finds it's a lot harder to navigate without a partner. And what is her response? It's not problem-solving, it's performance. She has learned that victimhood is a currency. The camera comes on, the tears flow, the post is made. A public breakdown generates more sympathy, and sometimes even money through gifts or a GoFundMe, than a private solution ever could. Struggle is her brand. She plays the blame game. It's always someone else's fault. You, the ex-husband, the patriarchy, the system, the economy. Everyone is failing her except the one person who made every single choice, herself. There is a devastating competence gap. She never learned to budget, to fix a leaky faucet, or to be the bad guy who enforces bedtime. She was prepared for a life of consumption, not a life of construction. And look at the contrast. A single father in the same situation doesn't have time for TikTok. He's working a second job, figuring it out, and handling his business. His struggle is met with respect. Her struggle is met with pity, and she seems to prefer it that way. I watched this happen with someone I know personally. She left her husband, a good guy, stable job, involved father, because she felt trapped and wanted to find herself. 6 months later, she's posting videos about how exhausted she is. The car needs fixing. She doesn't know how. The kid's sick at 2 a.m. She's alone. The bills are piling up. Nobody's helping. That freedom she wanted, it looks a lot like drowning. A client told me about his ex-wife's reality check. She'd left him for her independence. Moved out with the kids. Thought she'd thrive. 3 months in, she calls him crying. The basement flooded. She doesn't know how to shut off the water main. The kids are scared. She's having a panic attack. He had to drive over at midnight to fix it while she sobbed about how hard everything is. The same woman who said she didn't need him. These women drastically underestimate the structure men provided. It wasn't just money. It was the discipline for the kids, the consistency in rules, the ability to be the bad guy when necessary, the authority that made landlords and mechanics listen. Without it, their houses become chaos. Kids running wild because mom can't enforce boundaries. No bedtimes because she's too tired to fight. No consequences because she needs them to like her. A teacher friend tells me the pattern is obvious in schools. Kids from these homes show up tired, hungry, unprepared. Not because mom doesn't care, but because she's overwhelmed. She can't maintain structure alone. The kids suffer academically, socially, emotionally. The entitlement is staggering. These same women want male-style commitment without giving male-style loyalty. They want some man to show up and be a father figure, fix things, provide stability, but they don't want to commit to him. They want the benefits of a husband without being a wife. They want male investment without female reciprocation. Then they're shocked when men won't sign up for this deal. I know a woman who regularly calls her ex-husband for help, fix the sink, mow the lawn, pick up the kids when she's overwhelmed. But when he suggested getting back together, I need my independence. She literally wants him to do husband duties while she dates other men. You are not a partner, you are a utility. The emotional oversensitivity makes everything worse. Modern women have been taught that their feelings are valid, important, and should be honored. So every frustration becomes a crisis. Every challenge becomes trauma. Every normal life pressure becomes unbearable suffering. They're so focused on how they feel that they can't focus on what needs to be done. I watched a woman have a complete meltdown at a tire shop because they couldn't fix her flat immediately. Crying, calling people, posting about it online. An hour of drama over a 2-hour wait. A man in the same situation? He'd grab a coffee and handle some emails. The emotional energy she wasted could have solved 3 other problems. The poor personal habits make everything exponentially harder. No budget, so money's always a crisis. No discipline, so health becomes an issue. No routine, so every day is chaos. No planning, so everything's an emergency. They live in reaction mode, constantly putting out fires they started through neglect. A woman I know complains constantly about being broke. I've seen her spend $200 on nails and hair, $100 on DoorDash in a week, buy clothes she doesn't need. Then rent's due, and it's a crisis. She needs help. She's a victim of the economy. Being a single mom is so hard. Know you're bad with money and expect others to compensate for it. The accountability allergy is incredible. Everything is someone else's fault. The ex who won't help, who she pushed away. The job that doesn't pay enough, that she chose. The family that won't babysit, that she alienated. The government that won't give more support. Everyone's failing her except the one person who could fix it, her. The children absolutely pay the price for these choices. They're dealing with stressed, overwhelmed, emotionally unstable mothers. They're experiencing inconsistent discipline, rotating male figures, financial instability. They're growing up in chaos and being told it's normal. Little boys with no male guidance. Little girls learning that this is what womanhood looks like. I see these kids, anxious, confused, forced to grow up too fast. The 8-year-old who has to be mom's emotional support. The 10-year-old who's basically raising younger siblings. The teenager who's more mature than their mother. They're robbed of childhood because mom can't handle adulthood. The abandonment of stable families is epidemic. Women are walking away from functioning marriages at unprecedented rates, not because of abuse, not because of neglect, but because of feelings. I'm not happy. I need to find myself. I deserve better. They're trading stability for a fantasy, then discovering the fantasy doesn't pay bills or raise children. The statistics are damning. They're not leaving bad situations. They're leaving good situations that don't feel exciting anymore. Trading a functional family for Instagram freedom, then wondering why everything falls apart. Meanwhile, men facing similar struggles get zero sympathy. A single father working 2 jobs to pay child support and rent? Nobody cares. A man struggling to see his kids while paying for their entire lifestyle? Silence. A guy managing everything alone after his wife left? He should man up. The same society that coddles struggling women ignores struggling men. This double standard is breathtaking. A woman posts about being overwhelmed? Thousands of supportive comments, offers of help, maybe a GoFundMe. A man posts the same thing? He's weak, pathetic, needs to handle his business. We've created a culture where female struggle is currency and male struggle is shame. The preparation gap is real. Boys are raised knowing they'll have to handle things. They learn to fix, build, solve, endure. Girls are raised being told they're perfect as they are. They're not taught resilience, problem solving, or emotional regulation. Then real life arrives and they're completely unprepared. A man's car breaks down? He checks the battery, calls for help, arranges a tow. A woman's car breaks down? It's often complete panic. Crying, calling everyone, posting about it, but no actual problem solving, because nobody taught her how. The collapse pattern is predictable. First comes the freedom phase. I don't need anyone. Then the reality phase. This is harder than I expected. Then the panic phase. I can't do this alone. Then the victim phase. Why won't anyone help me? Finally, the blame phase. This is everyone's fault but mine. So men, understand the pattern. When you see a woman who can't handle minor inconveniences without melting down, that's a warning. When you hear her blame everyone else for her problems, that's a red flag. When she wants your support but offers no loyalty in return, that's not a partnership. You are a utility. Protect yourself. Your commitment, your stability, and your peace are valuable. Do not invest them in someone who sees you as a stepping stone or a safety net, but never as a true partner. The collapse you see on your screen was a choice. Don't let yourself become her next one. The solution for them is simple, but they won't accept it. It requires admitting they were wrong. It requires stopping the performance and starting the work. It requires building the discipline they so eagerly abandoned. But your solution is different. Your solution is to recognize this early. See the signs. If she speaks dismissively of structure, if she values feelings over facts, if she sees you as a limitation and not a partner, walk away. The harsh reality is that modern life requires competence, resilience, and accountability. Those who have these qualities thrive, those who don't collapse. And no amount of crying on social media, blaming others, or demanding support will change that fundamental equation. This isn't just a story, it's a pattern many of you are witnessing firsthand. Have you seen this predictable collapse play out in real life? What was the moment of reality that struck you the most? Share your experiences in the comments. Let's talk about the consequences the mainstream ignores. Thank you for watching.